Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that was really disappointed when they found out Prime Day had nothing to do with Transformers.
Till all are one.
I'm Optimus Cody.
I'm Rodimus Sam.
I'm Mega Josh.
There we go. All right. Sticking with the bit. I love it.
I still function.
I was going to say you were Joshua Primal.
Yeah,
because apes as well. There we go.
That's just Prime.
Double meaning. Yeah, so we are back with another super fine episode of Nerd Overload. As always, before we get into the news, let's get into some things we have been checking out.
Check it out!
I know my response to your intro now. I should have said, and I'm Tifa's husband.
Yes, before our real intro, I did a failed Final Fantasy VII intro. All right, so yeah, let's talk about some things we have been checking out. I know there's one thing that we all checked out, but I want to do mine just real super quick. We just did it. Josh, we just did it like 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
You were there.
You were there, I'm pretty sure. No, so I, you know how I like to find weird, stupid stuff, like old movies, old shows that shouldn't exist. You remember Homeboys from Outer Space?
Most of Tubi's video library.
Yes. So I have found it was one of the first sitcoms on the WB network when it was taken from UPN and turned into WB.
Yeah.
It was called Unhappily Ever After.
Ooh, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
That's also a movie.
It is.
An animated film.
It is, but this is not an animated film, although there are some fantastical characters. Well, one at least. So it was created for the WB network by the guys who made Married with Children. They basically said, make us a Married with Children.
This sounds super familiar.
Yeah, so it's like, what if Al Bundy was kicked out of the house, at least for the first season, has a psychotic break, and can talk to his son's stuffed rabbit puppet.
Really familiar.
Greg the Bunny.
It's not Greg the Bunny. It's kind of like Greg the Bunny, but everyone can hear Greg the Bunny. No, the dad of the house can only hear the rabbit, Mr. Floppy, and he's voiced by Bobcat Goldthwait.
I've seen this.
Okay, yeah.
I have not.
It's weird.
When you said Bobcat Goldthwait, I'm like, oh, my, yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I didn't know. It lasted for 5 years.
What?
It
Really?
lasted for 5 seasons. Yeah, I was doing some reading up. I watched the first couple of episodes, and it's fine. It is basically Married with Children, but taken to the next step.
It's hip for the 90s. It's Married with Children, but hip for the 90s.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
It's back in Pog form. But no, so
Bobcat Goldthwait as Alf.
kinda. Yeah, a little bit. But so the show was originally designed to be a vehicle for the woman who plays the wife. I don't know any of the characters' names. I only watched the first couple episodes. They discovered pretty quickly she was super unlikable, and so they changed direction to the father, the dad character, who had they were saying, "Oh no, it's not a magical bunny. He has schizophrenia, and he is just hearing this rabbit talk like Bobcat Goldthwait." Eventually, in the series, he moves back into the house after the first season because they're like, we want to put them all in one house. We don't have to pay for 2 sets, basically. As the show progressed, the focus of the show became the daughter character, played by, she's like the low-cut shirt, all that. She became the focus character. Of
course it did.
So it went away from... It's changed focus characters twice in the run of this show. After the 4th season, the wife wanted to leave, so she was killed off and was a ghost for a while. And then in a bizarre episode, an executive from WB Network walks back on screen and says, "Hey, she's alive again." And then they kept going like there was nothing wrong. And then in the 5th season, she was written off the show because she ran away with her girlfriend. Previously unheard of and unalluded to girlfriend.
In history, remember them as roommates.
Yeah. It's weird.
It sounds like it had a troubled production, probably.
It did, and yet it lasted for 5 years. It made it to like 100 episodes.
And yet Fox couldn't make good shows last more than a season, and Netflix will kill something.
Kill something after 2, even if it's good. Weird show. So then I had to wash the taste out of my mouth from that with Fletch. I watched the original Fletch movie. It's one of my favorite movies, top 10. Chevy Chase as the sarcastic news reporter Erwin M. Fletcher, who does a lot of costumes and pratfalls and whatnot in trying to solve a mystery kind of thing. Kind of an unwitting detective. I love the Fletch character. I think of all the Chevy Chase characters, it's the closest to Chevy Chase. And 2, my favorite, and as a younger man, wished I could emulate, because he always had a comeback for everything. He didn't have to think about like, oh, what's the witty retort to this? Just sarcastic, getting everybody, nailing
just
them.
right off the rip.
Right off. Yeah. Confident the entire time. Very, very cool. But the movie's great. The movie's really good. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I would say go and watch it. Even if you don't care much for Chevy Chase, the man, the movie is phenomenal.
If you could believe it, I have never seen it.
I
haven't either.
absolutely shocked. No, you guys would love it.
But also,
Legitimately.
my knowledge of Chevy Chase movies is actually very, very low.
Really?
I've only really seen like Vacation and Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Well, those are 2 of the big ones. Those are 2 of the big
And
ones.
that's Three Amigos.
Three Amigos, sure.
And I hadn't seen Christmas Vacation till like, I don't know. Well, it was probably like 15 years ago now, but a lot later than most people would have. I was a lot older than I think probably you guys were when you first saw it.
Have I ever told you about my Christmas movie theory? So my theory is everybody falls into 2 camps. You're either a Christmas movie or a
Christmas story,
or you're a Christmas vacation person.
Yeah, I agree with that, because
Yeah.
I'm a Christmas Story
Really?
guy. But I thought Christmas Vacation, it's good. It's a good movie.
Oh yeah, you could still like the other one, but you always go, okay, you fall into one of the 2 camps.
It's a Beatles or Elvis situation.
Yeah. I'm a Christmas Vacation guy myself. I never cared much for the Christmas Story. It always seemed a little hokey.
Well,
There are a couple bits that are okay, but I always felt kind of...
I mean, it is kind of hokey, but also it's,
That's the point, I know.
It's nostalgic for the 50s, blah, blah, blah.
I have zero nostalgia for the 50s.
And we all know how problematic that is now, but...
Yes.
And you know what? Even before then, it was one of those things that they would always trot out in school on like the last day before Christmas break. And like every third classroom would have the TV set up so you'd watch it.
And like it runs all day long
on TBS.
If you have like actual television.
It's like, oh, you'll shoot your eye out. I've heard it a million times. I don't care. I don't care.
The sequel, not the sequel, but not reboot.
The good sequel?
The good sequel. There's a garbage sequel, and then there's a good sequel.
There's a good sequel that shouldn't even be canon, because I'm pretty sure it's not.
The good sequel is set in the 80s, isn't it? With Ralphie as the dad or something?
Like he's coming back home, yeah.
And actually, I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty heartfelt and pretty good. My expectations were extremely low, because it's not the kind of thing that even needs a sequel to begin with. It was actually pretty good.
You know what? I would give that a shot. I do like was it Peter Billingsley?
Yes.
Yeah, I do like him in other things. Like he doesn't star in anything, but he pops a lot of Jon Favreau movies. He pops up in. I mean, he was the foreman elf in Elf at the very first scene.
Yep.
He was the Ironmonger's assistant in the first Iron Man movie, and then came back in Spider-Man Homecoming as one of the disgruntled people working for...
The Wrecking Crew.
No, for Mysterio.
Oh.
He was one of the special effects guys helping Mysterio. He just shows up in stuff every now and then.
While we're doing Christmas in July...
Yeah, let's do it.
A couple years ago, they came out with that 8-bit Christmas movie that was like, it's basically the same as Christmas Story, but
just
it's
in
set,
the 80s?
It's set in the 80s, and it's about the kid wanting a Nintendo. Mm-hmm. I went into that thinking it was going to be garbage.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's honestly pretty good.
Gotcha. All right.
Has some pretty good moments in it.
Like,
Cool.
you guys talk about, like, either you're a Christmas Story or a Christmas Vacation crew. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm the weird one.
Okay.
I love Elf.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Everybody loves
see,
Elf.
That's the thing. Everybody loves Elf.
Elf is the modern Christmas classic.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw that in theaters, I'm like, this is going to be, like, the next big one. Like, this is going to be the Christmas movie. And it was.
And it was.
It is. And it deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, I could be pedantic and say, oh, I'm the Santa Claus conquers the Martians guy, or I'm the Santa with muscles guy. But
you don't want to be the Santa with muscles guy.
I mean, I haven't really wanted to be the Santa with muscles guys for a long time. I watched that out of obligation because it's a wrestling movie. Which, speaking of which, I discovered there's an Andy Sedaris movie starring a wrestler. Andy Sedaris did Hard Ticket to Hawaii, if that sounds familiar to you. If you need to watch Hard Ticket to Hawaii. He does a lot of Hawaii-based schlocky action with lots of gunplay, lots of TNA. Just
Miami Vice?
Yeah. Basically, if Miami Vice was a little sleazy, a little sleazier.
Yeah,
But that movie, Day of the Warrior, stars classic WCW wrestler Buff Bagwell
Oh, God.
as basically the Ultimate Warrior.
Jesus.
Yeah. Everybody knows Buff Bagwell from the Buff Bagwell's mom on a forklift match, where he had to wrestle someone in order to save his mom, who was handcuffed to a forklift. Yeah. And it was his real mom. She was a character on WCW. Yeah. She would come into the ring and slap guys because, how dare you beat up on my son?
Bap.
My son, Buff Bagwell.
I want to do a detective show where everybody's like small woodland rodents, like a red wall, but it's in Miami and it's called Miami Mice.
Oh,
that's great.
Yeah.
I need to make that.
TM.
Yeah, TM.
Yep.
That's good.
That would be good.
I think you need to contact like a YouTube animator or something.
Yeah, for Miami Mice.
I mean, strike while the iron's hot, because Magic's got that woodland critter like expansion coming out.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Bull
5.
Barrow or
There's a 5e like setting that's all woodland creatures. too.
I've seen that. It's
I was going through Dungeons and Dragons books while I was on vacation because I have multiple campaigns I apparently need to prep for.
I think it's called like Humblewood or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking through all the character races, and I'm like, oh, look at all these woodland creatures.
Nice. I talked about it last week briefly, but since we're talking about D&D, at the Columbus Book Festival last weekend, one of the booths had a 5e compatible semi official campaign called Monsters of America. And it is like a
I remember the Kickstarter for that.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic America with a lot of pop culture references.
Oh, that sounds like it would be up my alley.
Yeah, so there's one that's in Washington and it's very political or whatever. That one's not as good. There is one where you go to, the setting is post-apocalyptic Seattle, where you go up against the warlocks of the shore, Wizards of the Coast. You go to California, and there's something, I forget what the other one is, but there are like subclasses, like you could become a Brobarian, and it's been very finely play tested to where it's not like overpowered or anything. It just fits right into 5e. And one of the modules is a paladin that is Guy Fieri, and you go to Flavortown, and you also fight a Guy Fieri dragon.
I do not understand when fifth edition first came out. And Wizards was like, yeah, no third party content, blah blah blah. Even though some of the best stuff from like 3.0 and 3.5 was all third party content.
Yeah.
When they lifted that ban, oh man, I was like, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, even Baldur's Gate 3 basically just opened the floodgates because their most recent update allows for player generated content. You can make spells,
nice.
You can make add classes and stuff.
That's
Someone went through and made a spell for a wizard that casts Mage Hand to create testicular torsion.
Oh no!
Oh great! It made the meme.
You have to make a dexterity saving throw, or you just fall over prone for a minute.
Well, duh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The preview had someone do it to Gale.
Gale.
Yeah. And he just like falls over.
You know, speaking of like barbarians and stuff, and this is completely unrelated. I saw this online the other day. I guess there's like a Broforce got some more content.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the game Broforce got more content.
I remember that game.
That's a good
that
game.
was fun.
Yeah, and it's like I guess it's like in its final form or whatever now. Like it's,
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was an alpha or a beta forever.
I was playing Angerfoot the other day. That just
Angerfoot!
came out, and it had a Broforce reference in it. There's a Broforce arcade machine that you can play.
Nice.
And it just has like an infinite runner on it. But it was funny that apparently it's the same people that did Broforce.
There was a convention a few weeks ago where someone did a cosplay of Angerfoot, and he was just wearing regular clothes, but from the knees down, painted his legs green and had like the band-aids and stuff, and walked around barefoot. And he was just Angerfoot. Yeah.
It's a pretty fun game too. I didn't put that much time into it because it also is a little frustrating, I thought.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of the nature of it. It's kind of like a Hotline Miami-esque thing.
You're just running around kicking things, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you shoot too. You shoot and kick. It takes place in a city where crime is the law.
Okay.
And
I like it.
they have like
So
the
Escape from New York.
yeah. And they have like the crime minister is in charge. And I can't say the name of the city on the show.
Sure. No. It's one of those, it's got that South Park humor.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of does. Yeah. But it's funny enough and fun enough. I'll probably go back to it. But
Okay, cool.
I didn't completely bounce off it, but I did get a little mad at it.
That was me in Hotline Miami, man. I was like, there were some levels where I'm like, why am I still playing this dumb
Yeah,
game?
it's really trial and error like that, where it's like, well, it can't going that direction.
Oh, this door's bombed. I can't go that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But I like Hotline Miami better, though, because of the top-down view, because you can see where things are and where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Angerfoot's completely first person.
Oh,
So
no.
sometimes it's like, well, I didn't know there was a guy behind me, but apparently there was. I read a couple books over vacation.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, because you probably didn't have any internet.
No, I did, but I wanted to read books because I never read books. I reread Uzumaki.
Oh,
it is-
yeah. Some Junji Ito.
It is still a stone cold classic
All right.
of manga horror that I would recommend to anybody who likes weird drawings.
I think Adult Swim is still working on that faithful adaptation
Yeah.
to it. And that looked beautiful.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
I want to see. There's been Junji Ito stuff that has been made into anime before, and it almost never makes the transition.
Gyo is not very good.
Yeah,
The animated. The book is probably one of my favorite books.
Yeah, Gyo is really good.
Yeah.
But they did like a horror anthology series not too long ago too, and it was just they didn't put the money into it that you need to make it look like Junji Ito.
Have you ever seen any of the low budget Tomy live action movies?
Yes, they're great. They're fantastic.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
And the Uzumaki movie is not super great.
It's not, but it's weird. It has some interesting visuals.
And it only does about half of the story of the manga for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, because you would need an incredible budget to make the places Uzumaki goes later. Like from where it starts to where it ends is super wild.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. One of the live action thing that I love the most, that's Ito's stuff. There was a short film of Long Sleep, which is probably one of my favorite stories, where every time this guy goes to sleep, his dreams are, or long dream. He sleeps for the regular amount of time, but in the dream, it feels like it's longer and longer to the point where his body starts like evolving to where humans would be thousands of years from now. Yeah. And they're always nightmares. They're never like good things. But we don't ever see it. We just see the physical reactions of the patient that is having the long dreams. Crazy. Good story, but yeah.
The only negative I could say on Uzumaki is like it's a little too episodic.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, and then this weird thing happened. All right, see you next time.
And there's a snail man.
yeah. Well,
I
at
guess
least that comes
that keeps
back.
going. That keeps going.
But stuff like the girl whose her birthmark turns into a spiral to a bigger spiral.
Oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
it just kind of, she doesn't come back again. But that was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, the girl whose hair turns into spirals and it starts like mesmerizing people.
Yeah,
Kinda.
like they some of them are just there to be there and they don't add to the overall story. Which that's just me nitpicking though, because those short stories are also great. Like if they stood alone, they would still be fantastic.
Yeah.
The other book I read John Romero's book.
Oh, okay.
Doom Guy, Life in First Person.
Nice.
And I mean, exact same story as Masters of Doom, which I've also read, but it was interesting to have it from John Romero's like exact perspective.
Okay.
And a lot of his early life. Turns out John Romero, co-creator of Doom, worked at id Software forever. Turns out his childhood was pretty rough.
Really?
Yeah. He grew up in like Arizona he's pretty poor and
okay.
like
yeah, we don't have to
just had a rough
dig in
time
too
of
deep,
it.
but yeah,
And,
just kind of a rough
rough
go.
I didn't expect it. I figured he was just a middle class computer nerd.
Yeah.
Turns out that was John Carmack.
Sure. The robot that is named John Carmack.
Yeah. But if you were ever interested in id Software or Doom or Commander Keen or all that stuff, like
Do they talk about Daikatana?
oh yeah, I mean it goes through his
yeah.
whole career,
Oh yeah.
and that sounds it was just such a mess, and I feel
Yeah.
so bad for him.
I do too, but also we tried playing that. The first time we tried streaming a game or recording ourselves playing a game, it was Daikatana.
Yeah,
And-
shooting frogs and bugs in the swamp.
Oh, and it was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. I don't think we got past the first level.
No, well, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, we didn't even get to the time travel stuff.
But like when they got the studio, like that was made by his company Ion Storm, which was after he left id. He bought an office in Texas that was it was on the 50th floor and had a glass roof.
Jeez.
And nobody thought to think that's going to get pretty hot.
Yeah.
And also there's going to be a lot of glare on the monitors. And it turned into like programmer tent city.
Yeah, I bet. Want to talk about the thing that we all just kind of did like
Oh yeah,
20
we
minutes
probably
ago?
should. Yeah. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which is not a good name for a video game,
Not especially.
just came out the other day. And
For the Switch.
For the Switch, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been playing the single player, but I also brought it over here before the show so we could try out the multiplayer mode. It's basically a speedrunning game. It's Awesome Games Done Quick, the game, where you do different speedrunning challenges of NES games. They'll like tell you like get the mushroom in Mario as fast as you can, and then you do that, and then it ranks you. But the multiplayer mode, like you go up against each other. Trying to complete these challenges as fast as possible
on the tiniest screen ever.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
That is, yeah. But you know what? It can support up to 8 people.
Yeah, which
I
is
can't
wild.
imagine
Yeah.
trying to do 8 people on one TV. But yeah, we did about a half dozen of them or so.
Yeah,
and,
it was pretty fun.
And each one has like 5 or 6 like mini modules that you have to do real quick.
Collect this many balloons, or be the first one to open the door in Mario 2,
Yep.
or
I think it's one of the most niche games Nintendo's made in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Because like one hand you have to be into NES games, like on the other hand you have to be into speed running. Like
I actually wonder what former guest and Ohio champion of retro games Chris Bidwell would think of this game. He probably loves it.
yeah, I mean I saw on Facebook that he got the collector's edition of it.
Of
'cause
course he did.
would
Of
course
have
he
to.
did.
You have to. If you're him, you got to.
He actually went to the Nintendo World Championship. The last one.
They should have sent him one, honestly.
should have.
Yeah, for real.
But no, we played through, like I said, about a half dozen of them, and the ranking is about what you'd expect.
I feel like we did better back in the day
Yeah, well,
when we actually went to the Nintendo Championship qualifier.
No, that's about what I did last time as well.
I thought I did pretty well for me at the actual qualifier.
Yeah, of the 3 of us, I am probably the worst at video games. But yeah, a lot of Cody first, Josh second, me third.
I won, but also I'd already played some of
A
those
lot,
challenges
Yeah,
already.
you cheated.
Yeah.
Cheated. You didn't go in fresh and raw like we did.
It's true. There's an online mode, but it's not live. It's against downloaded ghost data from other players.
That's kind of a bummer.
Which, yeah, on one hand is kind of a bummer, but on the other hand, like it kind of makes sense from a gameplay standpoint because so much of it is frame perfect.
And also, Nintendo's online is not great, so
No.
maybe in order to frame perfect and everything.
Plus,
Yeah.
you don't got to wait for a match for a very niche game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have running challenges that update every week or so.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's neat. It's like $30, which seems kind of steep for what it is, especially with like the single player options are not super great.
Yeah.
And there's only like a finite number of challenges.
It definitely feels like it should have been a Nintendo Online, like, here's your bonus, here's your cookie.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
It should have been included with like the expansion pass one or something.
Or make it $10.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm glad that it costs money because then they won't close it down in 2 months.
True. They'll close it down in 6 months.
Yeah, which I'm surprised F-Zero 99 is still running. Actually got a big update.
Oh, really?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, I haven't
there's
really paid much attention to that.
there's
one recently.
CPU drivers now that are based on F-Zero characters that show up on the track.
Because everyone stopped playing it,
Probably.
and they need to fill out the 99.
I'm terrible at Tetris 99.
Oh, I am too. Jordan's pretty good at it.
I'm not bad at it. I love Tetris though.
And guest of the show, Jordan Taylor, is really good. I think the first time she played it, she ranked like 6.
I don't know if I've ever won, but
I've never won.
I've
never
gotten
won.
like
No.
in the single digits. I'm pretty sure.
It's pretty bad when I'm better at Fortnite than I am at Tetris 99.
Boy, was it Mario 30?
Mario 30.
That was garbage. That was not even fun.
No, not really.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
That game sucked.
Oh, the challenge we had to do that was Super Mario 2 Japanese, the Lost Levels one.
man.
Boy, that was rough.
That was a rough one. We all took way too long on
We
that
were
one.
all going into that one cold. I had not done that one before. I don't know if I've even ever played that stage of
No.
Lost Levels before.
No.
But it took us so long, and it was just because you had to hit a hidden block with a vine in it because Lost Levels is super mean.
It wasn't even a hidden block. It was just a block.
It was an invisible block.
No,
it
it wasn't invisible,
Oh,
but
no,
it
it
was
wasn't.
difficult to get
Yeah,
to.
you had to.
You jump on the Paracooper to jump up and hit the block.
Otherwise, the level would continue looping forever.
Oh, we looped it like a dozen times. I think I looped it like 12 times.
I kind of wish we were streaming it because that would have been a
That
good
would have been
clip.
very
yeah,
funny.
that would have been a fun
that's
watch.
True, that's true.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to relive my shame.
Also,
Come on, no shame, Josh.
You getting angry at Ice Climber?
Oh, I hate. I've never played Ice Climbers before. I hate Ice Climbers.
It's not a good game.
It's really not. The jump is worse than Castlevania 1. It is the worst jump and run around and slide. I am so mad. I try not to get mad at video games. I am so mad at Ice Climbers. I don't even want to play them in Smash Brothers anymore.
It has like a huge vertical leap with like barely any lateral movement.
Yeah, no lateral
Unless you're
movement.
running, but everything is slippery. So even if you get a little bit too much of a lateral movement before you jump and you miss, you just slide right off the edge. Oh, man. Whew.
We should do a stream of this.
We should sometime, yeah. You know what? Announcing it now. Sometime coming up, we will do a short stream of the Nintendo Challenge. We'll put it on master mode, and we'll just fail. We'll just fail constantly.
I wish they had a mode where you would continually go through the games.
Oh, yeah, just all of them.
All at once. Once you finish one, it immediately rolls you into the next one.
And for all we know, maybe if you complete every level at a certain rank, maybe it unlocks something.
Or they could add that later.
Or they could
I
add
don't
it
know.
later. Yeah, yeah.
But that would be fun to see who could get through all of the challenges in a row.
Mm-hmm. Well, Josh, do you have any check 'em outs this week?
Not much. I'm caught up on the second season of My Adventures with Superman.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Good stuff. A lot of Kryptonian lore kind of stuff.
I will try to watch more of this
You know,
Because I'm caught up to all of the first season. I haven't started the second one, but I will try to watch it and then we can talk about it.
like Kara, Brainiac, good stuff. Real good stuff.
It's a fantastic show.
Did you hear Jack Quaid apparently auditioned for Superman and Superman Legacy? Yeah, he said, I sent in a tape. It didn't go anywhere. It's all good.
He gets to voice Superman.
But he gets to voice Superman in My Adventures.
And he's a great Superman too.
He's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the couple episodes I've caught, he's really good in it.
He gets a new suit in the last
I
week's
know, and he
episode.
misses the trunk. I miss the
Yeah.
trunks.
Yeah.
He needs the trunks. Superman has to have the red trunks. It breaks up the costume.
It's not a
And
bad
the belt's not enough.
and it's not a bad costume, but I definitely like the classic costume.
Yeah.
better.
I love Lois too.
Oh, I know.
I've always liked Lois Lane as a character in any incarnation. I like spunky girl reporter.
And she's not a damsel.
Yeah. And the Lois in this show is just as good as any other Lois has ever been.
I don't know. She's kind of like a chaos gremlin.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Well, they do an episode where like she goes to like the Legion of Loises, and they kind of like determine that she's the worst Lois.
They even reference the Bruce Timm Lois.
Oh, really? They
you
do?
see her for like 2 seconds.
Oh, cool.
There's an episode in the first season with it's the same episode.
Mr. Mixel-Piddler.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same
I've
episode.
seen that clip
It's the same episode
where he's snapping his fingers and
and
going
he's like
through all the
different
different
Superman.
Yeah. There's like
Was I a
the
crab?
1930s one, and yeah, that was a good one.
Man, that video of like the 1930s cartoon Superman that's been recirculating, like this clip was made 80 years ago and it looks this good.
Yeah, it was rotoscoped. Of course, it looks good.
Oh, and also they spent like an insane amount of money on it.
That's why there weren't too many of them.
Yeah.
They put all their budget for like a handful into one.
Yeah, and people will point at that and go, "Why doesn't cartoons look like that anymore?" It's like, well, it was a different time,
Yeah.
and things were different.
And it's doing something like that would be incredibly expensive.
And yeah, with conversion into today's money, that would cost way too much for a single episode of
Yeah,
animation.
it's not that people aren't talented anymore.
Yeah.
It's that none of the rich people want to pay for cartoons anymore.
And there are cartoons that have that level of animation.
Especially if James Baxter's on the staff.
yeah,
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. James Baxter is a wizard.
Yeah, there is. Okay, I refuse to look up the name of this because I just want to be wrong. I just want to be wrong.
Okay.
But there is a Netflix animated series. It's either out or it's coming out soon. It's like a bunch of astronauts.
Scavenger's Reign.
That's the one. Yes.
It's really good. I've only watched one episode, but it was really good.
Scavengers
looks
what?
beautiful.
Scavenger's Reign.
Looks absolutely beautiful.
It
yeah.
is. I've only seen the one episode, and it is.
Astronauts stranded on a deserted planet with like the flora and fauna are weird.
Yeah.
And they start affecting the astronauts on the planet. And like the show starts with them already on it for like a indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah, a decent amount
Decent amount of time. Enough time for them to figure out a routine of what they need to do to survive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful animation. But yeah.
And probably not enough people watching it, but they will complain about Superman cartoon on Facebook.
Of course they will. All right. Any more checkums?
I did put a bunch of time into Dungeons of Hinterberg. I don't know if you guys remember that one from Summer Games Fest or whatever.
Nope.
Sounds familiar.
It just came out, just got added to Game Pass like on Tuesday.
Okay.
It has the greatest concept for a game. It takes place like in the real world, sort of
Okay.
in the Alps, where some sort of magical event happened and a bunch of basically what are Zelda dungeons pop up.
Oh, interesting.
And fonts that give people magic powers to do the Zelda dungeons. So this whole town's economy is based on tourists coming in with their like their weapons are now like sports equipment.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't literally sports equipment, but that's the vibe of it, and the look of like their sword looks like you would get it at.
Like a Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then you go there to go through the dungeons like it's a hike.
Oh, interesting.
And that's the conceit of the entire game. There's like I think 12 dungeons in this town, and you go through, and when you go through the whole dungeon, you get a little stamp in your stamp book.
Oh, that's really cool.
And there's hints of some further plot going on, but like for right now, it's just you're a disillusioned paralegal or something that went on vacation to do some Zelda dungeons.
Oh, right on.
And then at night you have Persona-esque
you can
social
get
links.
S ranks.
Yeah, with the other adventurers and people who live in the town and stuff.
Okay.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Like, it shows its like indie game budget a little bit in the combat and like some of the stuff. But there's so much heart and it's so fun and such a great concept.
Sounds like it's really charming. Yeah.
Oh, I played in the open beta of the hero shooter Concord.
Oh, you're one of the 1,000 people who did that, apparently. Like, literally, that was their highest player number was 1,000.
Wow. Okay, how was it?
It was okay, I guess. It's set in space.
A ringing endorsement.
I know.
It was the state of play. We talked about it. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy hero
that
shooter
one.
kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was there any of the charm from that pre-rendered trailer in the game itself?
I mean, it's mostly like in the voice lines of characters while you're playing. But like basically the whole thing is you are a motley crew of people from the galaxy or whatever on the
And you guard the galaxy.
Shut up.
But like odd jobs kind of thing?
Yeah, but you the caveat is you became what's called a free runner or something, and you're basically you're fighting other crews. Granted, all the characters are the same, against people for like I don't know, like money or space internet fame or something. It's weird.
The conceit sounds kind of
the
weak.
Production value is there.
Okay.
The cinematics are great. The character designs are fine. Combat it's fine, but it's also
a hero shooter.
It's a hero shooter.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own special little abilities that do things. If anything, the Star Wars one I think is a little better.
I was just about to ask, did you play the Star Wars one? Because
I have played quite a bit.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah, the Hunters, Star Wars Hunters.
Yeah, it's like it's dumbed down Overwatch.
Oh yeah,
but I still I kind of liked it.
I think I remember when that was out.
It is out.
Yeah.
It's only on Switch and mobile.
Oh, okay.
Which says a lot about
the quality. The animation quality.
It's made by like Game Loft or something, like one of those mobile developers.
But it's actually not bad.
No, yeah, I thought it was completely like a solid shooter. I actually kind of had fun with it.
The aesthetic is there. It feels like it's just random characters from the Star Wars universe that would live in the universe, but they're like in these like gladiatorial games or whatever, fighting for like the Hutt's approval or something. There's I don't know if he's a retired stormtrooper or what, but he's called Sentinel and he's got a big heavy gun.
Oh, you can call in 2 other AI stormtroopers to help you out.
Yeah, reinforcements.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
There's 2 Jawas in a trench coat called Utini.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stand on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff right there. That would be my main.
Mon Calamari iPad kid.
Okay.
Yeah, he summons like devices and turrets and stuff.
So he creates traps?
Yeah.
Instead of it's a trap, he creates the trap?
Yes.
He lays it down and goes, it's a trap!
I couldn't stop playing as the first character they make you play as.
Oh, the rifle guy?
Yeah, I was like, I like this one fine.
I have a few skins for him, but I've played Sentinel a lot, and I've been playing the Mandalorian quite a bit.
Like you have to pay money to unlock.
Yeah, he's part of the Battle Pass.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
There's a Wookiee named Groz.
Good name for a Wookiee.
He just has melee attacks mostly, and he can shoot out Junkrat's tire.
Grozbaka?
Yeah, kind of. He has like this. It's not a tire; it's a rock. He picks up a giant boulder and he throws it.
It moves like Junkrat's tire. In
I've
Overwatch.
never used it, so
like
I don't
exactly.
know. Let me think here. Oh, there's a droid who thinks he's a Jedi.
Yeah.
His name is like J3D1 or something like that.
Okay, what does the droid look like? I'm curious because
he's got like a wide, like flat
circular head.
Circular head?
Like a dish.
Okay.
With like a mono eye.
It's not like the one that explodes in A New Hope at the very beginning.
No.
Because
It's not.
It's not Skippy the Wonder Droid?
No, it's not Skippy the Wonder Droid.
Okay. For context, there is a Star Wars Legends comic short story about Skippy the Wonder Droid, a droid that gains sentience, complete sentience.
And a connection to the Force.
And decides that there's midichlorians in the oil in his joints. He when Luke touches him when they're first going to buy him at the Jawas in A New Hope, he gets a premonition of the future that if he goes with Luke, it doesn't
the one
happen.
that explodes.
Yes, so he uses all the force on his internals to explode himself and sacrifice, so they end up taking R2-D2.
Ruins his own motivator.
Right, because if
Uncle
not,
Owen, this one's got a bad motivator.
the stormtroopers will find R2-D2 at the Jawas, and the message will never go to Obi-Wan. Luke will never become a Jedi.
All
the
that
Empire
stuff.
wins.
Sometimes,
he sacrifices himself. That's a great story. I'd like to think that's canon.
Sometimes I feel like I have a bad motivator.
Oh, all the time.
I mean, same.
Yeah.
Anyway, J3DI, his moveset is so stupid funny. He has a force pull where he shoots out his hand it's tethered with like a rope.
Okay.
And he pulls people.
And he pulls
but
it.
it's called faux pull.
Oh, nice.
FAUX.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
His outside like body casing mimics Jedi robes. Like it's got metal plates that make look like Jedi robes.
I just don't like how you have to unlock the characters as you play for a hero shooter. That is incredibly dumb.
It is
kind
dumb.
of frustrating.
It is dumb and frustrating.
Like, just for team composition, you should be able to pick more than one. Like, there are going to be so many players that only have access to shoot guy, and you're not going to have any
Support guy.
support guy.
Well, and it should be everyone's free, and you pay for the skins, which is like every other hero shooter.
mean,
yeah,
or a rotation of characters are free.
Yeah,
like
multiverses.
Yeah.
Even though I'm getting to the point where I've unlocked almost everybody in multiverse.
and the rotation is like one attacker, one healer, one defense. That way, there's always
the only caveat they have for team composition in Hunters is you can't play the same character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody has to be a separate character.
Did Agent Smith come out in multiverses yet?
No, you still have to unlock him through the Rift.
Oh.
Gotcha.
If you want to get him for free.
Gotcha.
I have completed the multiverses battle pass though.
Nice.
I have Jason X.
Excellent.
I'm jealous.
Very cool.
I'm jealous.
Very cool.
And for some reason they gave him an emote where he does the moonwalk.
Nice. You know, we're talking about video games. I did play a game, kinda. So there is a very, very indie game that came out a week or two ago called Yolk Hero, a long Tamago.
I saw that and I almost bought it.
It's really good. It was only like $5 when I got it. And what it is, it's an idle game for your PC. Basically, it is a Tamagotchi. It's equal parts Tamagotchi and idle RPG. So you can play it and pay attention to it and speed up like the timing of like. So the whole thing is there are two warring factions, the Frog King and the fairies in this fantasy land, and they want you to take care of the upcoming hero. They give you an egg. The egg hatches into a baby. You train it in some stats for like 10, 15 minutes. It goes into toddler mode. You train it for 15, 20 minutes with its stats. It grows into an adult. At that point, you get XP and energy and a couple other stats like bladder and whatever. And you basically, you're training for a bit. Then you're going to go out on a quest run. And the quest run runs for an hour. And it just makes decisions you don't have to pay attention to it. It just kind of runs in the background and you let it go. Now, if you want to play quicker, you can pay attention to it and actually play it like a video game and get through the quests quicker. But that's not really the point. The point is just play as, let it go as you go. It'll stop whenever there's anything important. So you go and pay attention to it. And then after each quest, you go back to your house, your whatever, and you can do more training. You can feed it. You can have it take a bath. You can have it take a nap for 8 hours, 8 real world hours to get your health back. When you stop the game, when you close the app, I think there's like a bat file that basically saves what time you stopped it and what time you start it back up. And if 8 hours have gone past since opening it back up, the health is full because it assumes, it probably took a nap in there somewhere. It's very fun, very low stakes, and you barely play it.
It sounds like a cross between Tamagotchi and Princess Maker.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
If you've ever played that old game.
Very briefly. I will say that right now it's only for PC. I would recommend not getting the Steam version because if you do, Steam overlay will launch with it. And for a small game like that, not worth it. Get it from itch.io. A little, about 10 cents more go to the developers. 14-hour developers. It's 3 guys that make it up in Canada. And
while you're at itch.io, you could go to itch.io/cthomaspinnick, and then there's like 5 games I made on
there you go. Yeah.
you wanted to do that.
They're all pretty good too.
Plug.
Yeah, you can hear our voices in at least one of them.
which I worked on some more today.
Oh, you did?
I am 2 holes away from finishing the second course.
Okay.
so-
Well, when you're
Say
ready
less.
for more voice acting, some more just okay voice acting, let me know.
Oh, I think the voice acting's one of the best parts of the game.
Thank you.
Yay!
I don't like taking compliments. That's why I said just okay.
I honestly think it's one of the features that make it feel like a real real video game.
Well, whenever you're ready for some voices, we'll set you up.
Boy, howdy, we'll really get them shoot them go.
That needs to be a voice now.
Yep. Now I need to put an old prospector in the game.
There you go.
Commence the jiggling.
Anyway, Yolk Hero is going to be coming to iOS and Android
Oh, it'll be
within
so
the next couple
perfect
months,
on-
and that is where it's going to be the best to play.
Yeah, it'll be so good on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Never thought
Definitely
you'd
worth
say
it.
that, right?
Oh, I have been playing Zenless Zone Zero, the new
Okay.
Hoyoverse game. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's by the people that did Genshin Impact and Honkai
Honkai
Star
Star Rail.
Rail.
Honker Star Rails.
Yeah.
Honker Star.
That's what people call it. They just call it honkers.
Yeah, or Honky Star
Honky
Rail.
Star Rail.
It's like a character action game, like a kind of like a Devil May Cry.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
But in a gotcha shell.
Mm-hmm.
And like normally I probably would have passed on it, but it's so darn stylish. Like it
Yeah.
takes place in like kind of like an urban fantasy environment. All the character animation is just like incredibly smooth and cool looking.
Yeah.
And I've played it more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
Like I figured, like I've played pretty much all their games. I played a little bit of Genshin and then never went back. I played like the opening of Honkai Star Rail and was like, this is pretty fun. But then for some reason, never played any more of it.
Okay.
But I've gone back and forth with Zenless a couple times, and it's pretty fun.
Are you playing it PC or on your phone?
I've been playing it on my phone and on my PlayStation.
How is the battery drain on your phone? Because I've heard that at least on Androids, it's a phone obliterator.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
obliterator.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
Does your phone heat up when you play it?
Not that
My
bad.
phone heats up when I do anything.
Yeah,
Well, that same.
yeah,
same
not
here.
more than anything else would. Yeah.
I will say the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis will make my phone very hot when I play it, and also they just released Vincent Valentine.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, yep, and the first because it's a gacha game. The first skin is a Turk costume, basically.
Of course it
It
is.
doesn't have the suit jacket, but it basically is a Turk costume with a red shirt instead of a white shirt.
Nice.
underneath. So it's like got the vest and everything.
The characters in Zenless are pretty fun too.
Cool.
There's like a anime made with a shark tail.
Of course
I've
there is.
heard that's one everybody wants to get.
Yeah, it's like the featured draw that I haven't gotten it yet.
That
but,
one, and there's a wolf.
there's a wolf man for people who are into that.
Into that stuff.
There's a bear man named Ben Bigger.
Nice. That's a good name.
He's just a big bear.
awesome.
I like the 3 characters that they start you with are pretty fun. There's just like a electric sword girl, a guy with 2 guns named Billy Kid,
Okay.
and then like a money grubbing pink hair anime girl named Nicole.
all right. Like a nickel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's clever. That's
You
clever.
know, I downloaded a Genshin Impact like a long time ago when they announced Aloy was a character you could get.
I forgot that they did that.
Yeah, from Horizon Zero Dawn.
yeah.
And then I just never touched it.
I only have room in my heart for one gacha game, and it's Ever Crisis. I've been playing every day. I play a decent amount of it because they give you plenty of extra free energy to do multiple things a day. They added guilds
Nice.
Yes,
I'm surprised it didn't already have that.
yeah, and you work together towards goals, or you just spend 100 free in-game currency and make your own. So I have my own guild of 1, which is me, and it's called Heckin' Rad. Yeah.
Now everybody's going to try to join it.
Hey, that's fine. Only 30 people can join it. It has a hard cap at 30.
You hear
And
that? First come, first serve, people.
That's right. Heckin' Rad. Come join our guild. There's
You're gonna
only me.
Add that to the plugs at the end of the show.
Right. Yeah, sure. There were so many. I looked through some of the names of some of them, and it's like, of course, there's like 7 Avalanche guilds, and there's like the Shinra Power Company guild, and like these people being super serious with it. I'm like, whatever.
Sephiroth's mommy.
Yeah.
I still wish they would have released their Battle Royale game on PC.
I know. First Soldier would have been...
Instead of just closing it down.
Yeah. Well, you get the story mode in Ever Crisis. These with characters that you don't know. You want to play as young Sephiroth? My theory is, so they stopped the story at a decent part. They just basically it ended the story of the 3 main people from the First Soldier, and they teased. I have a feeling Angeal. No, not Angeal.
Gladius?
Genesis.
Genesis
is going to Gatz's character is going to be the next playable character, like young Genesis.
They just put Crisis Core on PlayStation Network too.
Oh, nice.
Did they?
If you want to play that, yeah, it's a
Nice.
good game. It's Zack's story. It's the prequel.
Yeah.
The prequel to Final Fantasy.
That's in
7.
Ever Crisis as well.
Yeah.
It is pretty good.
You know, they have just milked the absolute crud out of Final Fantasy.
You know, I'm here for it. I
It's a
love
good story.
I love Final Fantasy 7 so much.
I would like more of it. Yes.
I mean, I like 7 too, but it's still not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either, but
No.
it is a good one.
There is enough of the world. There's enough original world building in it that they can attach more and more things.
Yeah, some
to
other
it.
Final Fantasy games maybe that wouldn't work as well.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I dig it. I can't wait for them to release Sid. Sid is my favorite Final Fantasy character from 7 because he is the old man at 32.
yes, the ripe old age.
The crusty old man
32.
at 32. He's practically a grandfather at 32. He has 3 gray hairs.
I'm surprised.
How old?
I'm surprised they didn't retcon his age with the remakes.
I really am too. He should have been in his 50s.
Yeah.
Or at least late 40s, something like that.
I'm gonna be 40 in September.
That's okay. We're all getting old.
Yeah.
But we're young at heart, and that's what's important.
I still
don't
haven't
even
finished Rebirth either.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause there's just so much to do. It is so packed to the gills with
I've
crap.
heard a lot of people have given up on the side content halfway and just beelined it for the end because they're like, they just give up.
I can't help. I like doing the side content. Not
Sure.
every time I play it, I have a good time. But
That's the
feels
point.
like it feels like I'm not getting anywhere.
I've also heard, and you might refute this, but I've heard that it grinds to a halt at Cosmo Canyon.
That's where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah. I heard a lot of people. That's where people go. I just kind of want to get to the Temple of the Ancients and just kind of get this going.
Get this
you know?
going. Yeah. I think I'm about through it, but I'm always like, well, there's so many other side quests I haven't finished. I need to get all the proto relics and see what's his name?
Clancy or whatever.
Oh,
The kid robot.
oh, Chadley.
Chadley.
I don't hate Chadley. A lot of people can't stand him. I think he's fine.
Now that you know that he is a failed Sephiroth clone, he's fine. Basically.
I like his female form, Mai, who's more obnoxious.
Yep.
And he hates her.
He hates her so much. Yes. Believe it or not, we have actually hit time. This has been a all Check'ems show. All Check'ems.
Rambly.
No breaks. No news. We didn't get to talk about the Deadpool trailer or the Beetlejuice 2 trailer or the Alien Romulus trailer.
You know what? It's trailers. You can watch them on YouTube.
And the whole Tenacious D thing. We didn't talk
We
about
probably never
any of
talk about
stuff.
that.
That's probably not going to be a thing next week. So, you know what? Who knows? Never. We're not talking about it. But you have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
Do you use social media? Facebook?
You
Instagram?
shouldn't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Follow our Twitch, support our Patreon. You can find all of that at links.nerdoverload.com.
You can shoot us an email at staff@nerdoverload.com. You can also give us a call on the Nerd Overload hotline, which has a
New number.
a hot new number.
A hot new number. Apparently, Google Phone cancels their numbers sometimes.
Yeah, without telling you.
Without warning. Yeah.
The new number, get your address books out, everybody. It's 740-229-9562.
Okay, easy enough to remember.
I did not label that in my notes. I'm pretty sure that's our number.
Okay, fair enough. Still, call in. Tell us what we got wrong. I want to know. No one has told me that we're wrong yet. Until someone tells me what I'm wrong on, I'm going to assume everything that comes out of my mouth is 100% right.
I want to know what
Correct.
people's favorite Final Fantasy VII character is and why it's Tifa.
I mean, Tifa's pretty good.
There's two good reasons.
Yeah.
Her
Loves Tifa?
Her beautiful red eyes and luxurious personality.
Yeah. You guys totally missed the Italian...
The Italian Senate.
The Italian Senate joke.
They've seen sides of her most people have not.
Well,
not most
people. So you can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Check us out there. It's all there. Finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us out at the Facebook page. Thank you very much. And David Pencil for the intro and outro. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Check them out.